Now here is the first question based on set operations. We are given three sets A, B and C as we can see here on the screen, and we are also given the set X, which we know that it's the universal set, okay? And we have to find the sets which are as shown here, right? So let us see the first set, that is we have been asked to find out what is set A union B union C, right? Now if you recollect, the union is nothing but it's the region which encompasses all the sets that are under the union. So we have to sweep out all the sets A, B and C. So if we start scanning from A, we can see that A consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, so that we have to definitely write down. Now when we go to the second and third set, that is B and C, now we have to look at the elements and write only the new elements which we have not written earlier. So 2 is already present, okay? Then we write 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So here we'll see that we have to include all the elements. So basically the union is same as the universal set. Of course, it's not always that union will be same as the universal set. Only in this particular example it turns out to be so. Now the second is we have to find the intersection of A, B and C simultaneously. So to recollect what is intersection, it is the set of elements which is common to all of the sets which are under intersection. So here what is the element or elements which are common to all the three sets? So looking at the data, we can see that it is element 2 which is common in all the three sets. So therefore this is the required set. It's a singleton set. It has only one element. Now next we have to find out A intersection B union C, right? Now to do that, first let us calculate what is B union C, alright, because only after that we can calculate the required set. So B union C is the set of B and C taken together. So that gives us 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Alright. Now we have to take the intersection of this particular set with the set A. Right. So therefore finally we get intersection of A and B union C. We see that the element 2 is the only element which is common in A and B union C. So therefore that is the answer. And lastly we have to find out the fourth, which is B complement union C complement. Now to do this there are two ways, that is first either we can calculate B complement first, then calculate C complement and then take the union of both. Right? The other way is by using the De Morgan's law. That is, we know that union of complements can be written as the complement of intersection, isn't it? So that means we have to take the intersection of which set? B intersection C. Now if you see, B intersection C is nothing but the set consisting of just one element, which is 2, isn't it? That's the only element which is common in B and C. So therefore we have to take the complement of the set which has only 2. So that means it will be the set which consists of all the elements except 2. So we have to write 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. That is the required answer. Right? Now let us move ahead to a word problem. In a class of 60 students, 40 like tea, 30 like coffee, 12 like both of tea and coffee, then how many students like neither tea nor coffee, and how many students like exactly one beverage? So here we can see that the discussion is limited to the class of 60 students. So therefore we consider the class of 60 students as our universal set. Okay. So let us denote the given data by Venn diagram. So here we have x. Now n of x is nothing but 60, isn't it? Now let's denote the set of students who like tea by this particular region, say T, and the another region which indicates C, that is tea and coffee. So we are given that n of t is equal to 40. We are also given that n of C is 30, and the number of people who like both tea and coffee, so that is nothing but this region, and we know that that is nothing but the region of intersection of T and C. So therefore, in other words, we have n of T intersection C is equal to 12. Right, so this is the basic data with us. Now let us see the first question, that is how many students like neither tea nor coffee. So neither tea nor coffee means we don't want tea as well as we don't want coffee, and we want to find how many students are there like this. So that is nothing but neither tea means T complement nor coffee means C complement, and we want both of these together, that is T also has to be excluded and C also to be excluded. So therefore we must take the intersection. But now here we see that it is not possible to calculate this directly because we don't know what is the T complement and C complement and the final outside region. So therefore the indirect way to calculate this is that if we look at the Venn diagram, then this region, isn't it same as the region which is outside both of the circles of tea and coffee, isn't it? And we know that by De Morgan's law, this is nothing but n of T union C, the whole complement, which is nothing but the shaded region that we have shown. That is the region which comes outside the union of tea and coffee. So that means first we have to calculate the number of students which are inside the union region. Once we subtract that number from the total number of students, we will get the required number. So therefore let's first calculate what is n of T union C. We know that that is equal to n of T plus n of C minus n of T intersection C. Correct? So on substituting we get n of T is given to be 40, then n of C is given to be 30, so that gives us 40 plus 30 70, minus T intersection C is 12, so 70 minus 12, that turns out to be 58. Right? So therefore as we have n of T union C complement is nothing but total number of students which are 60 minus the number of students who like tea or coffee, either of them. So we have 58 such students which like at least some beverage. So therefore if we subtract, the answer is 60 minus 58 is equal to 2. So there are 2 students which don't like any of the beverage. Now let us calculate the second question, that is number of students who like exactly one beverage. Now what does this mean? Exactly one means they like tea but not coffee, or they like coffee but not tea. So that means if we denote it once again by symbols, it's n of T intersection C complement. Now why do we do C complement? Because if the student likes tea, then he must not like coffee, because we want specifically one beverage. And similarly we can do for coffee also, that is, if a student likes coffee, then he should not like tea. So therefore here we have n of C intersection T dash. So therefore it is C intersection T dash. Now let us do this calculation from the diagram itself. That is, in the intersection we know that there are 12 people. So let us write 12 here. But number of people who are inside T, that is given to be 40. So therefore the people who are strictly within T and not within coffee, that is nothing but 40 minus 12, which is nothing but 28. So there are 28 people who like only tea but not coffee. Similarly, if we see the total number of people who like coffee is given to be 30. Out of these 30, there are 12 people who like tea also. So therefore the number of people who like just coffee but not tea is nothing but 30 minus 12, and that is nothing but 18. So therefore let us write here 18. And since we want the number of students who like exactly one beverage, so it could be either the people who like tea and not coffee, or it could be people who like coffee but not tea. So therefore the required answer is nothing but the sum of 28 and 18. So therefore we get that as 46. This is the required answer.